Welcome, painters! Today's production is a bit different due to everything that is happening with the COVID-19 virus. I have to record by myself. I hope that everything works out soon so I can continue recording with my partner, Ruth. Well, today's video is special for beginners. I will show you how to paint gold with the non-metallic metal technique. So if you're ready, let's go for it. First of all, we prime the miniature. I use black airbrush primer. For those of you new to the channel, here's a link to a video where I talk about how to prime your minis. And now we will paint our mini. I will put all of the colors on the wet palette. We will start with black and German camouflage orange ochre, a super cool color. Ice yellow, white, orange fire, and finally, sepia ink. I will use an Artist Opus brush size 00 to apply the base color. Take a look at the mixture I make, a little black and a little sepia ink. And I mix it with the German camouflage orange ochre. And what next? Apply thin layers. Keep adding light layers. I want the base color to be a bit noticeable under the color, so it's important to apply thin layers. Take a good look at how I cover it very slowly. The important thing is that the base color must be noticeable underneath. Apply thin layers. Here you can see the final result. I applied 3 to 4 thin coats. Next, I will apply the first highlights. I will use Japanese uniform World War II and add a bit of water. Look closely in the box how I unload the brush a bit and apply thin layers. Notice where I highlight. In the center of the edge of the foot. I keep adding thin coats, one after another. This way, the color becomes more intense. I also highlight on this side. Notice that a couple of layers are enough for the contrast to be noticeable. I also highlight the edge, which is important when applying this technique. The most important thing is the contrast between the light and shadows. In the middle, I also add a soft highlight. Notice I use just one color and how it changes. The more layers you apply, the more intense the color gets. If I apply less, the color is softer. I come back to the foot and paint it more, and you can already see the difference in contrast. The foot looks more illuminated because I am applying more layers there. I outline the edge, and I do it slowly, unhurriedly. Don't apply thick layers, you're starting, so take it easy. Apply thin layers, just relax and have fun painting. So let's go. I want to apologize because the quality of this video is not as good as the previous videos. We changed the camera lens and we are not used to it yet, so be patient. I hope in our next videos the quality will be as good as in the previous ones. Well, look at the leg, how I highlight it right in the center. Then I leave a bit of the base color and I focus more on the edge. So I create a contrast of light, and shadow, and light. Notice they are soft, light coats and you can already see the difference. I highlight more. That's the secret. I apply a thin layer, let it dry, and then repeat, so I create contrast by saturation. See what happens? I can add a bit of sepia ink and smooth out this area with more of the base shadow color. That's the best thing about working with a wet palette. The colors always stay fresh, so it's perfect when painting our minis. I darken this shadow a little more, and here you can see the final result of the first highlight. Now I will use heavy gold brown because this color has more body and its composition includes more yellow. So in the previous step we used Japanese Uniform World War II, and now we will apply some thin layers over it with this color to add saturation and give it this golden shine. So it's a trick that you have to write down there. It's on fire. Very important, eh? Well, I also want to say this color is denser, so we have to add some more water. And little by little, we will cover the previous step. Notice the yellow becomes more intense. Remember, I am applying thin layers. Look at the leg. Some soft layers and the color becomes more intense. I add more layers without any rush. The edge on the leg is also important. This step may seem silly to you, but this color makes a lot of difference. So, I recommend you apply it. Here you can see the final result as the gold is already more intense. Now I will apply the second highlight. To the previous color, heavy gold brown, I will add a bit of ice yellow. I add a couple of drops of water, too. I mix and apply this highlight. Pay close attention to where I place the highlight, on the edges and in this plane of light. Notice that just a few layers makes the armor shine. Here is also a secret. Take a good look at the armor and apply highlights especially to the most exposed areas where the light hits the most. This way we'll achieve those NMM bright points. So, take a good look and outline the edges. On the knee pad, upper area, I outline the edges. Another trick, take very little paint. We don't need to load the brush too much, since you won't have control. It's better to take less paint and apply thin layers so we can get good results. I keep highlighting this plane of light. Where to highlight the leg? On the upper part, I extend down the highlight a little, but where is there more light? In the areas above. Pay close attention to how I apply the highlight. With just one coat, you can already see the contrast. You can already see the NMM effect is noticeable. Here you can see the final result, how this amazing armor is shining. Now, it's time to apply tones to the gold. I mix orange fire and sepia ink, add more water than normal, and then I will apply a glaze. For those of you who do not know what a glaze is, here's a link where you will find a video where I talk about glazes. I recommend you watch it, very useful. So, I apply these glazes in the mid-tones and shadowed parts to give the gold some tones. It is so good applying these glazes because it will enrich the gold. Notice that the paint is more diluted than normal. This way we can control the tones. We can also apply a bit more shadow. Notice that I take a little black and sepia ink and I apply it to the deeper parts. I also outline the gaps with this mixture in order to add definition. I tell you every time, go slowly. You're in no rush. I apply a bit more sepia ink on this plane to create more contrast. And I move from one mixture to another, deeper areas, more black and sepia ink. Not so deep areas, softer. I take a little of orange fire and sepia ink. I am playing with these mixtures. If I see that I want to increase the tones, I take some orange fire and apply a glaze. So we will enrich this gold. Here you can see the final result. Take a good look at the tones, how the armor changes. Last step, magic touches. Now is when we will add all the magic. Note that the mixture is made with white and a little ice yellow, hardly any. And let's apply these little points to make the armor shine. Apply a few points of light. If we apply too many points throughout the armor, we lose the effect, so we are going to focus only on the most important parts. On the edges, on this plane, we also add some more illumination. All very smooth. As you can see, these points of light make the armor shine more. It is very important to highlight the edges, so we will get a strong definition. Look at the knee pad, where the lighting is, in the highest area. And we add this little sparkle to highlight it more. We also take this opportunity to define the tones more with orange fire and sepia ink. This way we polish the armor. I increase the shadows here a little more. And now it's a matter of polishing all the armor. I will add one more sparkle to the shoulder in the upper area. Forgive me for the focusing issues. We highlight the edges to add definition. And you can already see the contrast. Shadow, light, shadow. I increase this highlight a bit more with heavy gold brown. I continue to outline the edges a bit more. And here you can see the final result. I hope you find the process very easy. And any questions you can leave in the comments. What did you think about the video? Did you like it? Leave a comment if you want me to record some more videos for beginners. If you liked the video, share it with your friends and ring the bell to be notified of the next video. And don't forget that in the video description, there is a full list of the products that I use. If you live in Spain, you can get all of the products at Goblin Trader, in France at Hobby Shop, and in the United Kingdom at Element Games. And I want to announce a new sponsor. If you live in Mexico, you can get them at Art Hobby. Guys, paint a lot, and see you in the next video.